do if somebody needs CPR. Why would somebody need CPR? You try and wake them up, they don't wake up. You're putting your ear next to their face and you can feel their breath, or are you hearing them breathe? Are you seeing rise and fall of their chest? If you're not seeing any of those things, no sign of them breathing, it's time to start CPR. So how do we know somebody's in cardiac arrest? Yes, so they could fall down, they could pass out. So the question is, did they just pass out, or are they in some kind of a cardiac arrest?
Keep pushing hard.
Okay.
There you go.
We're teaching hands-only CPR. So we have classes coming in every 30 minutes, and in those 30 minutes, they are learning hands-only CPR. We feel like high schoolers are the force multipliers in our community when they learn hands-only CPR, and they are going to be able to help immediately when somebody drops and is really needing CPR.
And if you want, you can probably even put a little bit more of your body weight on it.
Your chance goes up 400%.
Perfect. Slow down a little bit. You're doing great. Push through your back. Yep, just hear the music.
Of survival if somebody starts hands-only CPR before we arrive.
Engine 46, Medic 46, Unconscious Party, map page, AA37A, at Legend High School, 22219, Hilltop Road.
I mean, it started off as a normal day, a normal basketball game. You know, we were just ready to play basketball. And
Legend High School, 15 male, not hexagonal breathing, sounds like defibrillator, and they're going to be in the back of the school. Come to door, end is in November.
One of my other athletes came tearing into the training room saying they needed me in the gym, and I could kind of tell by how he ran into the room that this was probably more than just a sprained ankle. So, you know, I ran out into the gym, immediately saw the athlete down on the court.
Battalion 4 dispatch. Battalion 4, so just an update. We are having CPR in progress. Okay, copy. CPR in progress. Thanks.
Somebody told me that a student had collapsed, so I walked in and Sarah just yelled, "I need the AED." So the quickest thing I thought is, I know where it is, I'll go and run and grab it. So I just ran and grabbed it and I got it for her.
The incident was at a basketball game, and a student from the other school on the sophomore team went unresponsive and went into cardiac arrest.
Immediately, you know, started assessing the scene. It appeared with how he had fallen that he had maybe hit his head on the bleachers. And so given the catatonic, unresponsive state, first thing I did obviously was check pulse. He had pulse at that point. So started stabilizing C-spine. And then honestly, for me, it felt like seconds, but Maddie, the float athletic trainer, showed up, and Jackson, one of my students, immediately showed up with the AED. And shortly after Maddie showed up, we both lost pulse, rolled him over, and started, initiated the AED, did a first shock, and then started compressions.
So me and Jackson went back to the training room, and when Jackson grabbed the AED, I grabbed the blood pressure kit and just sat there waiting for anything else that they needed that I could help with.
When I got there, Sarah was already holding C-spine, and the athlete was very unresponsive, having some gasping breaths.
It was a very shocking moment.
And Sarah had her fingers on the carotid, so when I stepped in, I felt for the radial pulse, and after that, everything kind of happened fast.
It was the first time that I've had to utilize CPR to save a kid's life.
After myself and Sarah both lost pulses, we opened up the AED and started compressions.
And just feeling the ribs give out as you go through was a unique feeling. But it let me know that I was in the right place and doing the right things.
There was probably only 5 to 7 people in the gym who knew how to do CPR that stayed there for it.
The main thing that just went through my head was like, how can I help when they need it?
It was just another like Tuesday night or something, and you wouldn't expect it, so it could happen at any second. And it's really important to know that you would be able to help someone.
Anything can happen to anybody at any time, and I feel that just being there and knowing what you can do is the perfect thing.
Bump, bump, bump. The best way to remember how many times you should do CPR in a minute is by singing Staying Alive. It's that rhythm that we need. Bump, bump, staying alive, staying alive. So we can keep the beats going, so we are getting the correct amount of compression so that the oxygen is getting to that brain.
You know, when you take those classes and they have you calling out that count, like that's really a comforting go-to, right? Like, you know, like as long as I've got my count and I'm doing my force, then I'm doing the right thing.
We want her to continue to keep going until we arrive, but if she gets tired, which she is, she's going to need to ask a friend to step in.
It means more than anything, because my job with high school students, I am here to protect someone's greatest possession, their child, and to be able to have done that is something that I'll never forget.
Knowing that we were all able to utilize our skills to the best of our ability and we were able to save this kid's life is a tremendous feeling that I'm still, as Maddie said, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that completely.
He survived the incidents because of the bystanders coming in and doing what they needed to do.
Never thought I would actually need to know it, but here we are.
Knowing that he left breathing on his own with a pulse was a huge relief. In knowing that we did what we could to save this kid's life and that he gets to live another day.
Being involved in a real life situation that was needed, it takes a lot out of someone, so the more people being able to do CPR and be there for it, the better, because then it means that there's going to be more quality CPR, so the person has a better chance of living.
I think the fact that everybody is doing this training is definitely vital. I need to make sure that my staff, my students, my coaches, I need to make sure not only are they trained, but that they're prepared to jump in. Because I think, a lot of people take those classes initially and they're like, oh, I'm never actually going to need to use this. And they don't take it to heart as much as they should. So I'm hoping that this course that you guys are doing today with the students in conjunction with that event will be enough to really bring that home on the relevance of how important it is that they know how to do this and that they're ready to jump in and do it.
There are these real life situations that this happens, and being able to help this kid come back to life and stay alive, just pretty amazing.